Light bulbs are awesome, and not just because they provide us with the ability to see in the dark. There are so many amazing ways to reuse them to make art, survival gear, even kitchen tools. So let's brighten up your day. Here are 5 alternate uses for your light bulbs. Now for most of the following projects, you're gonna have to hollow out a dead light bulb. Let's kick it off by making some salt and pepper shakers and show you a few tricks and tips along the way. To start, make sure you're wearing a glove on the hand that's touching the bulb to protect yourself. Pry up the end contact of the bulb using a razor or pliers. Once you have that part removed, you'll be met with an insulator that you need to chip away at and remove carefully. This can be done using a small item such as a thumbtack or small screwdriver to crack the insulator. Once you have it cracked, you simply remove the pieces with pliers or a screwdriver. Now we're going to pop out what's called the exhaust tube. Take your screwdriver and break through the glass stem. You want to use some finesse here and slowly circle around until you can carve out and clear the remaining debris. Finally, you're through. Now break out some small needle nose pliers and remove the filament. Congratulations, your bulb is empty. Now if you used a white bulb, here's a simple and cool way to make it clear in a few seconds. Just pour in a bit of salt or sugar. Cover the top of the bulb and shake it like a madman. The coloring will disappear right before your eyes. And now we can move on to making the actual shakers. Obviously, clean the bulbs out with water and soap and let them dry. While they dry, go to your recycling bin and grab 2 plastic bottle caps. We're going to use these to hold the salt and pepper inside the bulbs themselves. Surprisingly, they thread right over the standard size light bulbs. Take a small nail or push pin and work several holes into the top so that the salt and pepper will be able to escape its bulby prison. Now we're ready to fill up our bulbs with spiced goodness. I grabbed a small sheet of paper that was laying around and twisted it into the shape of a funnel. Once the funnel's in the bulb, it's simply a matter of transferring the salt into its new home. Just dump it on in, and when you're done, place the cap on top and you're good to go. And just a quick test so you can see that it works. Here you go. The salt comes out freely, but not too fast. You can follow the exact same steps for the pepper, as you can see here. Just make a funnel and dump it on in. Again, a quick test to make sure it's working as intended. Perfect. We used furniture casters to hold the bulbs, but anything with a circular bottom should hold them in place. So there you go. Salt and pepper shakers made from light bulbs. It'll make your gourmet meal look even fancier. Let's move on. Now, just because your bulbs are burned out doesn't mean you still can't get a little light out of them. We found these solar-powered garden lights at the dollar store and picked some up. Since we already went over the process of emptying out a bulb, we'll skip that from here on out and go on with the upcycling. Get your emptied bulbs and the solar lights. Remove the top portion of the solar light and line the rim of the bulb with a weak adhesive in case you need to remove it later on down the road. Press it on tightly and make sure the bulb isn't going to fall off. Now for this next part, you can use many items, but we found brackets for hanging pictures to be an awesome solution. We hot glued brackets directly on top of the solar panel. They're small enough that they won't impede on the charging and strong enough to tie some fishing line around so you can hang the bulbs wherever you want. We did one with a white bulb and one with a clear bulb, just to see what the difference was. The white bulb had a better glow, but the clear bulb produced more light to see in the dark. Go with whichever look you prefer. Alright, now things are about to get sticky. For this little bulb project, we're actually going to utilize a working LED bulb. We're doing this because a large amount of silicone will be added to make the light more decorative and all around awesome. Using a regular bulb would heat up the silicone too much and cause problems. We did it anyway with a dead one, so we could turn this thing into a nice ornament. Now here's how to do it. Get a bottle of silicone sealant, the type you might use to fix a leak. Hold the bulb from the base and emit large globs of silicone onto the bulb itself. Then slowly pull away, creating a spike effect. You can choose any length or size that you want. It just depends on what you're going for. You understand. Work all the way around the bulb until you have your desired effect. Try to keep it hanging upside down until it begins to set, or the silicone might go all over the place. Once it's dry, it's time to fire it up. Stick it in a socket and set it ablaze. Ah, the glory of the spiked LED light bulb. We call this one the Lucky Bamboo Bulb. We're basically going to turn a blown out bulb into a housing for a plant. As usual, we emptied out the bulb and got it nice and clean with water. After that, we scavenged around the neighborhood for tiny pebbles to give it a nice earthy look. Of course, you don't want to just drop the rocks into the bulb as you might shatter it, so go at a nice slow pace. Now pick a plant that fits the tube. We thought a nice bamboo stick would look great in this situation, and we ran with it. After working the metal casing of the bulb out a bit, we were able to fit it inside. Slide it on in and shake around the rocks until you have coverage over any root system that remains. Now, just add water. Find a nice place to keep it upright as well. Voila! A beautiful augment to your already stunning and beautiful kitchen. Finally, here's a good old standby you've probably seen before, the light bulb oil lamp. It's super simple and extremely effective. Now you're going to need a dead bulb. We're using an old spotlight so it can stand up on its own and save us some pain later. You also need a wick and some lamp oil. Typically, you can find all of these at any hardware store for just a couple bucks. As usual, hollow out the light bulb carefully. Get all the debris out and fill up your lamp with oil about halfway. No need to go overboard. Grab your wick and dip one end in and get it nice and soaked. Pull it out and slide the other side in as well. This way you're going to get full coverage on the wick and it'll spark up nicely. Now let's give it a test and see what we're cooking with. Whoa, quite intense. Now, it will of course mellow out after a few minutes, and you can use it as a nice emergency light or simply to add some cool decor to your pad. That being said, I want to thank Audible.com for supporting us so that we can put these crazy projects together for you to try yourselves. Recently, I checked out The Science of Everyday Life: Why Teapots Dribble, Toast Burns, and Light Bulbs Shine. It's written by Marty Jobson, and I think it's right up my fans' alley. So if you want to up your science game, you can download this audiobook for free if you go to audible.com/household and sign up to try the service. I love listening to audiobooks when I commute, or if I have travel coming up, or sometimes if I'm just doing chores around the house. Audible.com has more than 180,000 titles available to check out, and you can get your free download by going to audible.com/household. Thanks for watching. We'll have some more bright ideas coming at you soon. And by that, I mean we aren't quite done with bulbs just yet. See you next time.